Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's iFixit video. Happy New Year to start off with. So what I've got here is I've got a Nintendo Switch that works, but it has a faulty game port, so it can't read games. It's got a missing stand. It's in really bad condition. Well, I wouldn't say terrible, to be honest, but it's not in the best condition. And this Joy-Con, well, this button doesn't work. It's clearly broken. And this Joy-Con has got a broken locking mechanism, so I need to fix that too. But we're not focusing on the Joy-Cons today. We're going to be focusing on the Switch itself. This one, I believe, has a dead motherboard, and as you can see, it's in much better condition with a stand, which is helpful. So what I'm going to do is, just to, get this thing up and running as quickly as possible, I'm going to take this one apart. I'm going to take the motherboard out of it, and I'm just going to swap over the motherboards. So I think we should just get started. So we're going to start off with our tri-wing screw. This one's missing quite a few screws actually. So usually there'd be a screw here. There'd be two screws here and here, but there's only one. So let's get this one screw out. Good thing is the Switch I have over here has all of its screws. So we can just do that. We need to take the make sure you've got the Joy-Cons off. Take out the middle screw on each Joy-Con rail. So there, and the same on the other side. Just do that. I have this piece of tissue here just so I don't scratch the screen on the other Switch, because these screens are made from plastic, and well, plastic scratches very easily. Now, I find that if you lift up the game cartridge cover there and just pull sort of from those edges, there you have it. Off comes the Switch. So we've got a few more screws here. There we go. Okay, so first things first, let's unplug our battery with a plastic tool. It's just not a good idea under any circumstances. Now we've got that unplugged, we're gonna have to take off the heatsink. So this bit here, the game cartridge slot, and we're just gonna have to unplug everything. So let's get started with that. So I'm going to start with the game cartridge slot. So we're going to have to take out the two screws that hold in the headphone jack, because of some bent pins. So I might be able to fix that. Let me see if I can show you inside. If you look in there, you can see sort of just at the back there's like a bent pin. There you go. So I'll just need to move that back in that direction and hopefully have that working again. Let's bring you guys back. Okay, so let's keep going. We're going to want to keep these components on. I believe that is the internal storage, so the Switch gets pretty annoyed if you change that over, so we're going to leave that on there for now. Going to take out these three screws holding in the fan, and then we should start being able to take out the motherboard screws. Let's unplug the fan here too. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start unplugging everything, and then I'm going to take out all the screws and we can go from there. I'll I'd like to keep this switch for some parts as well, so I'm going to be as gentle as I can. Most of these are just like ribbon cables, so you just unclip them and then put out the cable, sort of quite standard stuff. That's the screen cable. It's the Wi-Fi. I'm gonna use my plastic put out here. It's the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Just getting another tool. Quite hard to get to some of these ones because they're so small. Yeah, there we go. These are the speaker connectors. These can just be pulled. It's okay. So that's all of the connectors I can see undone. So let's take out the two screws holding on this charger port thing here. And there should be a couple of screws. I can't remember exactly how many. Sorry, you guys can't see there. So these are all the screws holding in the motherboard. These screws are black, so nice and easy to keep track of them. Because they're different from all the other silver screws that they've decided to put everywhere else. So if I haven't forgotten any screws, which it looks like I haven't, out come the motherboard, and I'm gonna start getting this one ready. Okay, so I'm sorry about the jump there. My phone stopped recording, don't know why, but we're back up and running. This should be good. I just took the back cover off, and it looks to me like somebody has been inside the switch. This is the switch that I'm taking the motherboard out of, so I'm not too fussed because I know it does work, apart from the game reader. So I'm just going to carry on taking it apart as I usually would. So yeah, how I know it's been taken apart. Anyway, carry on. Let's take this back cover off. We should be greeted with all the internal parts. I am expecting, I can already see, I'm expecting there to be missing screws. That is okay. But let's go. Unplug the battery. This is just so we don't accidentally short something out. And let's start taking this apart. So let's take out these 3 screws for the heatsink here. It looks like this switch was repaired. Not sure as to why that was, but that does not matter. Heatsink out. 3 screws for the fan. Well, you can't get to the 3rd screw yet. There's supposed to be 2 screws here and a little plastic cover on top, but obviously that's not there right now. So this cable, I found this really interesting with the switch. This is the touch. So every time you touch the screen, it actually goes through the game cartridge slot and then into the motherboard. I just found that really interesting with the switches. I'm not sure why Nintendo decided to do that, but as you can see, this is the game card slot, this is the headphone jack, and that is the connector for the digitizer, which detects the touch. Anyway, let's get to these 3 fan screws. Looks to be this is going to be a lot quicker to dismantle, which is okay. Not too fussed about that. Let's bring up these connectors, take the fan out. Gonna swap over to my plastic spudger. Let's take out the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas. There's one, there's the other. Let's take out the speaker connectors. Just pull gently on these, both sides. Quite hard to get out if you don't have the right leverage. Okay, that's that out. Let's take out the Joy-Con rail here. Lift up on the connector, put it out. Sometimes it's easier to use your fingernails on these connectors to lift them up. Just gonna undo this one here. Boom. Take out the other Joy-Con rail. And use my fingernail. Oh, sorry guys. I'm use my fingernail here. And then use this here again as well, actually. Just oh, that's no good. All right, I do have a replacement cable, so that's okay. Moving on. So usually there would be, I have to take the screen connector out there as well. One screw here. Remove this one. Then a screw here. Then a screw here, which they have put back in. That's good. A screw up here, and then there's one more down here somewhere, and then there's also two screws here and here, but they're not in here because obviously somebody's been in here. So let's lift up on that connector. We're going to pull that one out too. This is for all the buttons at the top. Just debating whether or not I should take out the screen connector yet. Yeah, why not? Perfect. Lift up on the motherboard. And out it comes. So I'm going to dismantle the part switch, and once we've gotten there, I'll just put this one back together. And yeah, so let's